Assalamu alaikum everyone. Hope you're all having a great day. Welcome to the 19th episode in the Science and History series. The last one, the water cycle, was about science, and this one is about history. So let's get to it. Every generation has heroes who carry swords, who lead armies, who shape nations. But once in a long while, a different kind of hero appears. A quiet scientist standing not in a battlefield, but in a lab or in a field, fighting a war to improve humanity. This is the story of Norman Borlaug, a man who believed that science is not just formulas and experiments, but a bridge between human suffering and human hope. He didn't seek fame or power or applause. He simply asked one question: can we grow enough food so that no child has to go to sleep hungry? And in trying to answer it, he changed humanity's destiny. Norman Ernest Borlaug, born March 25, 1914, died September 12, 2009, was an American ergonomist, a plant scientist. He is known as the father of the Green Revolution. His work with wheat varieties and farming techniques is estimated to have saved hundreds of millions, possibly more than a billion lives. But more than just numbers, his journey shows how knowledge and compassion and dedication together can transform the world. After World War II, the global population was rising faster than at any time in history. But food production was not. Many countries, especially in Asia, Africa, and Latin America, struggled with recurring crop failures. India and Pakistan were importing wheat on emergency basis. Famine was a real and frightening possibility. The world needed a breakthrough, something that could change agriculture itself. Norman Borlaug's mission began in 1944 when he moved to Mexico to help the country fight recurring wheat failures. The world was still at war, it was World War II, resources were limited, yet he believed that even in difficult times, science must not stop. Between 1944 and 1955, Borlaug crossbred some 6,000 to 7,000 wheat strains every year. He worked in heat, dust, and rough conditions, often with little funding and almost no recognition. To accelerate progress, he did something revolutionary. He grew wheat in two opposite regions of Mexico, one in the north and one in the south, allowing 2 generations per year. Scientists said that the idea would fail. Borlaug was confident that it would change agriculture forever. By the mid 1950s, he had created wheat varieties that were highly resistant to rust diseases, able to grow in many climates, much higher yielding. But there was still one challenge. When farmers added fertilizer, the tall wheat plants became heavy and fell over, ruining the harvest. So from 1955 to 1962, Borlaug continued experimenting, again thousands of crosses, until he produced the game-changing dwarf and semi-dwarf wheat varieties. By 1963 to 1965, around that time, these new varieties were ready. They could produce 2 to 3 times more wheat than traditional varieties, and they were strong, stable, and dependable. They did not fall over. These seeds were not just better crops, they were the beginnings of a revolution. By the early 1960s, the world's attention turned to South Asia, especially India and Pakistan. where hunger was becoming an urgent crisis. Monsoons were unreliable, population was rising, local wheat varieties were weak and low yielding. Between 1961 and 1965, millions of tons of wheat had to be imported as emergency aid. In 1963, Borlaug's new varieties were tested in small trial plots. The results were promising. Then came the crucial moment. In 1965, Pakistan officially imported his seed in large quantities. In 1966, the harvests jumped dramatically, shocking even the experts. Pakistan responded quickly. Between 66 and 67, the country imported over 42,000 tons of seed, one of the largest and fastest seed distribution efforts in the world. By 67, wheat production had risen so sharply that storage bags ran out. Farmers used whatever they could find, even empty cement bags, to hold the unexpected surplus. India followed with large scale adoption from 65 to 67, despite drought and war. In 68, yields in Punjab were doubling, then tripling. Pakistan achieved wheat self-sufficiency by around 1970. India avoided the catastrophic famine many had feared. For this extraordinary impact, Pakistan awarded Norman Borlaug the Sitara-e-Imtiaz in 1977, a recognition of a man whose science helped secure the nation's food source. His seeds, born in the quiet fields of Mexico, saved millions across South Asia. This was not just agriculture, this was humanity getting shaped by science. Some critics argued that the Green Revolution increased the fertilizer use or stressed groundwater. These concerns are real and must be understood. But even with these debates, one truth remains clear. Without Borlaug's work, the scale of human suffering in the 60s and 70s would have been exponentially greater. Norman Borlaug received the Nobel Peace Prize in 1970. He also received the Presidential Medal of Freedom and the Congressional Gold Medal. Both are highest civilian awards, and he is one of the only 7 people to have received all 3: the Nobel Peace Prize, the Presidential Medal, and the Congressional Gold Medal. Yet he never stopped working. Even in his 90s, he traveled to Africa to help develop better crop varieties. His message was simple: you can't build peace on empty stomachs. Through science, humility, and relentless effort, Borlaug changed the course of human history. The world remembers leaders, generals, and kings, but sometimes the greatest heroes are quiet scientists working in the labs and in the fields. Norman Borlaug didn't just grow wheat, he grew hope and helped feed the world. It's a shame, especially for us Pakistanis, who don't even know who he is and what his work did for Pakistan and for us, and the debt of gratitude that we all owe him. Thank you for listening and viewing this video. Please stay curious and give your feedback and comments on this. Thank you very much, and Allah Hafiz.